Clear.
And and welcome back to Survivor Hot Takes. I was doing a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory thingy right before we went live.
Literally didn't even get that hint. So
Um, but we're back to discuss episode 4 of season 43. An episode that I think I really enjoyed. I just watched it for the second time just before we went live. I think it holds up over a week.
yeah.
I think that it was a fun blind side, and maybe it's because with the benefit of being able to watch it the second time, I felt like they telegraphed it once they started showing Lindsay getting more paranoid than she's been shown up to this point. I know we haven't gotten much Lindsay content or anyone from Coco, but she was never shown to be like ultra paranoid as we got in the last like 5 minutes before they go to tribal. So, what did you think about how Lindsay played this round leading up to tribal?
I think that I'm pretty disappointed that she left because I think that the way they were editing her up until episode 4, I was like, oh, she is a strong woman leading the lambs to the slaughter. Like she and Carla are going to be a powerhouse duo and just like cut every man left and right. That's what we want to see, feminism. But like I was pretty upset like to see that she said that it was like it was they made it look like it was paranoia. But in reality, she was saying as well, like during a lot of her post-game interviews, that like the part they didn't show was that Ryan was throwing her name out there, and Gio told Lindsay that Ryan was throwing her name out there, which is why she was so paranoid. Does that make sense? So she knew that her name was out there. So I think that she kind of had a right to be paranoid in a little bit, but just finding ways to kind of navigate that where it doesn't show that she's so stressed about it would have been a better end for her.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of the time that is the case where these people they're not oblivious, like they're not just making their name up out of nowhere. They do hear it, and yes, a lot of the times decoy names do get thrown out. That's just a part of the game. I do feel like, and as a person that's never been out there, I do feel like there was a way you could have gone about it a little bit, less. Are you sure you're on my side for like 1,000? And she even pointed it out.
Reassuring. Yeah, like in need of that consistent reassurance and insecurity. Yeah.
She put it in tribal. It's like, yeah, I felt like I was doing this, and then I realized maybe I should stop asking all these questions and just kind of trust people that say they were going to do what they're going to do.
Right.
And I feel like that's the case with a lot of folks in these games. Is yes, it all comes down to trust. If you trust these people enough, you should believe whatever they say to you at face value. The problem is they are all equally trying to lie to you as well. So at some point, you have to be able to figure out when's the truth, when's the lie, and make sure you lie to them before they can lie to you. And I think that's what she was trying to do. And I feel like, in this instance, she was wrong.
Right.
But that doesn't change the fact that, hearing your name is going to make you feel a certain type of way.
Yeah, especially with it being her very first tribal. I think that's whenever all that like kumbaya, like, we're all one tribe, we're all going to be together forever, let's hold hands around the fire. That all gets broken very quickly. And those lines are very clearly defined by those cracks, So I think that it also just makes me wonder like what Coco's going to look like now, because she was part of the majority, and having those 6 people like that now makes them, they could pretty much do 3 and 3 now if they felt that insecure.
Why 3 and 3?
Isn't it? So yeah. Well, hold on. Well, now like 3 and 2, I guess is what math.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, well, guys, like if she leaves, then like they can move like the 3 against the 2.
Oh, I see what you're saying. And but I agree with you. I wonder what the dynamic's going to be. My bigger thing is I feel like they might be even more strong now because of how the end part of that challenge went. Where it was very clear that these other 2 tribes are colluding against you. I feel like, in that instance, yeah, if they lose again, they're going to have to vote someone out. But I feel like they'll be a lot harder to crack whatever is left of them when they hit the merge, because
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah,
No,
go
I
ahead.
was gonna ask you a question whenever you were done. Finish your
Oh,
thought. I
no,
don't want to
go,
impose. Okay,
go.
cool. Well, then I'll keep talking. Like I had like a mental note that we had to talk about that, and we didn't talk about it before we recorded. What are your thoughts on Bessie and Baka like teaming together to form like one super alliance against Coco? Like, do you think that that's smart, or what do you think?
I think it's smart in the moment because you do want everyone losing numbers. You don't want it to just be the same two tribes over and over again. I think the problem is going to be when they hit merge. Once again, it's going to be similar to last season where like they're going to get to the merge and they're going to have these people that they want to get rid of, and everyone's going to say they want to get rid of them. When in reality, some of them have already started scheming how to get rid of the rest.
Right.
And some people on these two tribes are going to think, okay, we're good. Once we get to the merge, we'll just pick off the Coco people and then we'll go after each other then. But there's, and I'm hoping that we get glimpses of it tomorrow where people are like, yeah, they think we're going to do this, but in reality, me and such are going to go out
Yeah.
and flip the game wide open. We're going to go work with Coco. So in the moment, I understood it. The fact they were being blatant about it, there's nothing you can do about it,
I
especially
was
because
blown away.
Coco was on the far left, so like they couldn't, they didn't have to navigate around, or they didn't have to navigate around another tribe. They could just
Right.
say, "Hey, this is what you're doing." So I was fine with it. Were you?
Oh my god, yeah, I was living for it. I think that like I think that again, like short term, it was smart, but like, and I even think like with long term, if they can, I think that like obviously there's going to be still a lot of moving parts, but even like long term, it's going to really help to solidify not just like close bonds, but also like longer terms of resentment. Like even if that, like that's why I really liked Cody stealing, going and doing the Pearl Islands esque like raid, because not only are they creating bonds like they did like pretend Ship Wheel Island, whose name that I'll never remember, but like they're also like by bringing in Cody, like they're also like creating like long-term vengeance, and it makes things a lot more complicated. So I'm into it.
And I feel, and watching Cody, and we're going to touch more on it when we get to the Cody section,
Yeah.
but watching Cody navigate that entire thing was very fun. And as I'm not really a Cody person, but like I enjoyed that entire scene. And when we get to it, I'll point out things that I really enjoyed about it. But final thoughts on Lindsay.
I'm just sad about like I'm bummed because I really thought that she was gonna like defy the mom stereotype, and not that she didn't do that. I think that like even just like her strength and the challenges in itself was like so like memorable, but I think just in like the pattern of older women getting voted out early, I guess, so I'm sad that she didn't make it further because I really thought that she would make it far. But it's great for my fantasy league because a few of my friends who I'm in close competition with got her as one of her power players, so I'm excited
yes,
that
it
like
was one of mine. So
yeah, I know, I saw. You're one of them.
the other thing that's been going on Twitter, and people have continued to point it out, and the fact that we've lost 4 women in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say that of those 4 women, maybe one came out of left field. No. I would say that none of them really came out of left field. I feel like all of them. I don't think that it was anything other than, with NECA, it was challenge performance. With Lindsay, it was the paranoia. Yeah, like we said, the paranoia came from a place.
But Justine was doing well with challenges. I think that it just came down to a social situation.
Yeah, I feel like that was an alliance type thing. And remember 2 weeks ago, we said she didn't do herself any favors by, harping on Jesse, like, oh, I don't know if you like, are you going to vote?
Yeah. But I mean, if we're focusing right now on just them not feeling that pressure to return back to tribal, like they should have nixed NECA first, don't you think? Ooh, nixed NECA. Some alliteration there.
Well, and it still would have been another woman going there,
right?
So I understand the qualms, as someone that is very pro women, pro POC in these games.
Yeah, as you should.
I understand the optics don't look great, but I think we still have some very strong women left in the season. I don't think that it's just going to be a pagogging of women. I mean, my winner pick is still there. It's Ellie. We didn't get much content from her. The content that we did get, it's just her and Gabler again. Like that's just going to blow. Every week I keep saying this. When it does blow up, it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be wild. I'm so excited. Yeah, and I do agree with you. I think that Christian brought up a really good point in our comment section too. That like at this point we have a very very strong base of women that we can still really pull from. Like I'm thinking Carla, I'm thinking Ellie. a variety of other women, but I think that Christian's right that all these remaining women, especially in the era where Erica won and that Marianne, they didn't see Marianne win, but they saw like the track of all the strong women and the strong character archetypes in 42. I think it's really going to help them to realize that these men got to be voted out back to back to back, starting with Gabler.
Well, Gabler was very adorable here.
My heart. I do love him. He's just not made for the game,
The fandom are not fans of Gabler. I'm not the biggest, but I thought that his content this episode was very wholesome in the beginning. The whole thing with the fire
not the palm leaves.
The fire was weird, but like the palm leaves, I'm like, oh man, he's just trying to take care of people. He's adorable. And Ellie just was not about that life once again. And I think I keep saying this, I think they're trying to paint her as not like a villain, but someone that's going
she challenges you. Yeah, she challenges you and she pushes you.
Yes. Which is another reason I am looking forward to this Gabler versus Ellie showdown, which has to happen.
It has to happen at this point. Yeah. And it looks like we're going to get more of that this next episode, don't you think? Like there's a huge focus on the Baka tribe in the previews.
I don't watch. I'm trying to avoid the previews.
Why?
I feel like either it gives away too much or they just throw so many red herrings at you that it's like, all right, none of this shit's going to actually happen.
You aren't a real fan.
Okay. Everyone look at 42 and 42 on the plate. But moving on to Cody and with the Pearl Islands twist. What were your thoughts on how he went about it?
Oh my God, it was the best day of my life. I loved it so much. It was better than anything that I've ever seen. Like honestly, Sandra is the queen of the raid, but like Cody is the king. Well, no, yeah, Cody's like the jester. Like he did a good job. But I really enjoyed it because I think that he really highballed it because he knew that's the one thing that would really shake them up to take. So he still made it out to be like he was the really good guy, even though he took more than what they even like were intending to offer him in the first place. And like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Left with no ill will, like buddies with everyone except for Carla, who saw through all of that. But like even so, like 5 people were indebted to him after he left, after he took things from them. Like how crazy is that?
From Idaho.
My favorite line.
I love the way he went about it. One, because of the face value part of know how he went about it. But the second thing is optics wise, to them, he's willing to play ball because optics wise to them, we kind of put the kibosh on the machete and we kind of worked with him to figure out something where none of us are hurting in the end. I feel like that's going to be the type of person that they are going to want to work with down the line. Yes, they're going to be annoyed that they colluded with the other tribe to win that challenge. Yes, but I think they can look past that. This I feel like the season's leading up to a lot of people looking past things in the moment, and then all of a sudden they're going to have their moment 2-3 episodes later.
The clarification, yeah.
You remember when you did this? Well, sorry. Like I feel like this is one of those moments where Cody's in with them good right now ish. But I feel like he could be a big target for Coco once the merge hits because, okay, he did kind of play us. Go ahead.
No, I just said I agree. Continue. You're doing a great job.
I hope they keep this. It's been a while since we've seen this twist. I hope they keep it. This episode also just felt different because it wasn't straight into immunity challenge. We had a reward challenge, and we didn't have non-Shipwheel Island for once. And I mean, I like Shipwheel Island or whatever we're calling it. But I was, it was a nice little break from it. And also, we didn't get any backstories to anyone this episode. It was just.
That is very true. And we still have 3 people whose backstories we haven't seen yet, right?
Ooh.
I know for sure Cassidy, and someone else said 3 before.
Cassidy.
Which I know that for sure because she's still my winner pick, and I just have to rock with it at this point,
Is it? Wait, I'm trying to think of who the other 2 would be. They have to be from Coco. No, because we've gotten Geo's.
They wouldn't have to. And yeah, we haven't gotten James. Have we gotten James?
I'm pretty sure we did.
Janine. We haven't gotten Janine's, right?
I don't think we've gotten Janine's, no.
Yeah, so Janine, Cassidy, and then someone else.
Everyone that's being looked at as sidekicks right now.
Yeah.
Which which is going to be great, because I don't feel like either one of them are going to go now at this point.
I hope to God not.
They could get the same thing that Lindsay got last season, where we don't get their backstory until like 2 episodes before the finale.
Right.
The Lindsay character really started to take shape on that season.
Oh, it's Sammy. Thank you, Christian. And Gabler. Yeah, go ahead. Good job, Christian.
Wow, we haven't gotten the Gabler backstory, which is wild.
It's going to be the next episode right before they vote him out. I'm calling it now.
One of the most common characters on the season, and we don't know anything about him other than what he's told us in confessionals. Another thing is those triangles didn't look like, especially the second triangle, it didn't look right. It kind of just looked like
I didn't think so either. Like it didn't even look like it was all fully stacked. That's interesting. You also noticed.
It looked weird. Jeff said they won on that second triangle. I thought it was going to be one of those that's not right. You mess something up. And he said they win. I said, oh, all right. I guess.
Yeah, we're just gonna rock with it at this point.
What did you think of the challenge? Of the challenges in this episode? I really liked the first one, the reward challenge one. But what were your thoughts on it, especially?
I really like them. I think that I like the concepts that like a lot of these challenges are challenges we really haven't seen before. Or we've seen them with some tweaks, and I think that like just like the combination of that like physicality plus the puzzle really helps to like really weed out anyone who's weak. There's nowhere for anyone to hide unless you're on the bench. You know what I mean? So I'm in for it. I like them both.
Yeah, the sit out bench people, especially since 40, maybe like 39, 40. We get a lot more content from them, like on the bench, and it's just always they're always so goofy, and it's always like, okay.
Tell me that Cassidy and Gio didn't warm your little heart, like the cutest little cheer squad there ever was.
Adorable. So it was adorable. But let's go back to the challenge now.
Fine.
What do you think about them being so like? I understand that you're on Survivor, and Tribal Council is an aspect of Survivor that you want to eventually have a part in. These people walked in, it seemed like overly excited to see everything. And like I said, I get it. But what did you think about that?
They were just so cute. I don't know. I look forward to seeing the excitement like not dwindle from anyone's eyes, especially at this point in the trial. Like this is kind of the time whenever people start getting really, really weak, and we got to see pieces of that with like Gabler in particular about how he's like already like becoming concave. So it's good to see like some of that energy like still like existing with the rest of the group. So I was into it. What about you?
I thought it was weird. I understand, like I keep saying, I understand that it's you're at Tribal, you're on Survivor, and it's exciting, but especially going in to your first Tribal Council with the 4th boot, you guys are at least close enough where this is going to sting no matter what.
Absolutely.
And at least what we are shown, Lindsay doesn't say anything to them on her way out. I'm gonna assume that something happened.
She was mad. She was real mad.
I can imagine. And so you do the exit interviews and all of that. Was there anything that was striking from anything that she said besides, the fact that she heard her name?
I think that was kind of the big thing, that she just really had she had a gut feeling, and that like she knew that Ryan was talking and like trying to get everyone to vote her out. And like it was just harder for her to recognize that because Ryan had a good relationship with a few of the other members on the tribe. So she was kind of in that place of mind where like, is my bond closer or is Ryan's bond closer? And Gio's telling me this. So is Gio trying to like keep me on the edge? Like, so I think that was pretty shocking to me. She also, I want to say that she also highlighted like how good Ryan's social game is, but it's like not easy to notice right now. So that's interesting to kind of pick up on, because again, like we don't really see that very much.
Yeah.
And James is the other one. She mentioned James. It wasn't Ryan. It was James. How good like everyone's relationship is with James, and that everyone thought that they were James number 1, except for not even except like everyone thought they were James number 1. James is playing a really, really great social game. So that's a good thing to know.
I hope we do get more James content, and especially now who has been to Tribal.
Yeah.
They're no longer safe from this burial in the I hate using that word because but this burial in the edit. Now that they've lost, now we get to actually see what, and especially because there were 2 votes that were not casted for the person that went home. That means one other person voted not in the majority. You're going to see how that dynamic plays out probably this episode tomorrow because today's
Right.
Tuesday. Any final thoughts on the episode?
Honestly, like they had me for a spin. I was blindsided by the vote out, which I haven't been yet, which was very exciting. So and it was someone. I thought it was Gio. I had 5 points on Gio today, or like last week for our fantasy leagues. I was like, it's got to be my boy, so I can maintain my first place ranking out of the 17 people playing our game right now. But no, it was Lindsay, so I'm bumped to second for now. I'm down, but I'm not out. So I think that was really cool. That it blew my mind. Do you have any predictions for how like the next episode's gonna go? Like, what are your thoughts?
I kept saying that Coco wasn't going to tribal until either the right before the merge or ever. So I'm gonna shut up with my predictions for this week and just kind of let it see it play out.
I have predictions,
but I do feel like Gabler and Ellie are just collision course.
I have predictions because I've been doing some analysis on all the pictures and all the tweets. Okay, so it looked like. Do you care if I say what I saw in the next time on Survivor? Okay, so it looked like in the preview, that Owen found something that's going to change the game, which I think is going to be the Beware advantage. I think that he's in a good enough social standing where he might be able to get everyone else's beads, if that's kind of the situation. I also think that we're like leaning at some point where we got to be getting really close to dual elimination. Like, there's no way that like we've gotten this far and we're getting so close to the merge. Like, there has to be a double elimination at some point. So I'm thinking it might be this time. But I've been saying that 3 times.
Wait, do you think the double elimination?
Double elimination, not the merge. Absolutely not the merge. But yeah, like that would be a hot take. But no, I think that it's gonna be that.
Will that take us down to 12?
Yes.
That's not a crazy, unless they wait till next week and take us down to 11. Which would be merge time.
Christian says the merge is next week. Christian, you are so smart and we love you. Thank you, Christian.
Well, then it has to be a double boot episode.
Christian, there's going to be a double elimination. No, I'm right. Probably.
That's it. We will see y'all sometime next week because I remember you were busy this Friday.
We can honestly, if 6:30 on Tuesdays work good for you, works great for me. My people call your people.
They can't be. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you all on the other side.
Okay. Bye, guys.